Welcome to this explainer. Let's kick things off with a pretty massive question. Did you know that generative AI isn't actually creating a skills gap? Nope, it's creating an understanding gap. A lot of folks assume that simply signing up for an account means they're totally prepped for the future of work. But mere access? It's just not enough anymore. Today, we're diving into why the real divide in the workforce is all about AI literacy and exactly how you can move from just accessing these tools to actually truly understanding them.
Okay, let's dive into this with a statistic that's honestly a little shocking. According to data from Eternal AI, workers who master one highly specific AI skill are 40% more productive than their peers. 40%! That is a massive multiplier. We're literally talking about the difference between taking all day to grind through a task versus having the whole thing done before your morning coffee even gets cold. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that exact magic skill is just yet, but I want you to keep that 40% boost in the back of your mind as we go. Because right next to that incredible 40% boost, we have a really sobering reality check from Zapier. Check this out. 78% of enterprises currently struggle to integrate AI with their existing tech stacks. Think about that for a second. Even with the absolute best tools on the market, nearly 8 out of 10 companies are failing to get the results they want. This proves, without a doubt, that just buying access to AI absolutely does not automatically translate to business success.
Section 1. The danger of blind trust. And this brilliantly illustrates why we have such a massive gap between the potential of AI and actual execution. We're seeing a stark divide between two totally different types of users. On the left, you've got the casual AI user. Imagine someone who just fires off a quick question, blindly trusts whatever the AI spits out, and copies it straight into their project. Not great, right? Then, on the right, you have the AI-savvy user. This person evaluates the outputs, understands the limitations of the model, and uses structured frameworks. They treat AI as a powerful multiplier, not some infallible replacement. Setting up a formal approach to AI literacy is literally the only way to make that jump from casual usage to savvy orchestration. So, what happens when we just blindly trust these systems? What happens when the casual AI user approach goes wrong? We have to ask ourselves about the dark side of generative AI, because these systems are fundamentally based on prediction, not absolute truth.
Both MIT Sloan and Code Academy put a massive emphasis on a concept you've probably heard of by now, AI hallucination. Basically, this is when an AI produces content that sounds incredibly confident, totally grammatically perfect, and is entirely fabricated, completely made up. It might invent a case law out of thin air or confidently hand you completely broken code. So the golden rule here? You absolutely must validate AI outputs against trusted, human-verified sources.
And it's not just about factual errors either. It's also about deeply ingrained biases. MIT Sloan's educator guidelines share a really revealing anecdote about the Playground AI's LinkedIn bias incident. An MIT student asked the Playground AI tool to turn a photo of herself into a, quote, professional LinkedIn profile photo. Well, the AI's idea of making her look more professional was to fundamentally alter her features, literally generating an image with paler skin and blue eyes. It perfectly and frankly frustratingly illustrates how these models can just reproduce unintended patterns baked right into their training data. You simply cannot afford to be a passive consumer of these outputs.
Section 2. What is true AI literacy? If the dangers of blind trust are hallucinations and bias, how do we fix it? How do we shift our mindset from passive consumption to active, educated usage? We shift to formalized AI literacy. The Digital Promise Framework defines this perfectly. It's the knowledge and skills that enable humans to critically understand, evaluate, and use AI systems safely and ethically. Did you catch that? Notice how the words understand and evaluate come strictly before the word use.
Digital Promise actually breaks this down into 3 interconnected modes of engagement. Step 1. Understand what the tool is and how it works. Step 2. Evaluate its limitations and its privacy policies. And only after you've nailed steps 1 and 2 do you move to step 3, deciding if and how to actually use the tool. At the absolute core of this entire framework is one critical element: human judgment. We can never, ever outsource our critical thinking to an algorithm. You, the human, are always the ultimate decision maker, not the machine. We are the ones on the hook for the final output, the implications, and the accuracy of the work.
Section 3. Mastering the perfect prompt.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because now we get to close that loop from earlier. Once you have the literacy to evaluate these tools, how do you extract maximum value? Atlassian gives us this brilliant 4-part framework for writing effective AI prompts. And yes, prompt engineering is exactly the skill that drives that massive 40% productivity boost. To do it right, you need 4 things: a persona, a task, context, and format.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing the framework in action side by side. A bad prompt is just vague, something like write an email to a new hire. You're going to get a generic, maybe even hallucinated response. But a savvy prompt, it uses structured language. I am an HR manager, that's your persona. Write a welcome email, there's the task. Ask if they have questions, that sets the context. And use less than 200 words, that locks in the format. You're basically programming the AI, and that is exactly how you unlock that 40% boost.
Section 4. Bridging the digital divide.
We are heading toward a future where the gap between AI-literate and AI-illiterate workers is going to be the new digital divide. But the good news? There are incredible, accessible tools available to help you upskill right now. You can start with Google's AI Literacy Hub, featuring Experience AI and AI quests to build those foundational skills. You can practice spotting those hallucinations we talked about using Codecademy's free targeted courses. If you're on an enterprise team, Internal AI Academy boasts a massive library of over 810 courses for hands-on prompt practice. And MIT Sloan offers some really fantastic educator guides on implementing AI responsibly.
And for the organizational leaders watching, the ones trying to solve that 78% integration failure rate we mentioned earlier, look into John Byron Hanby IV's Amazon bestseller, The AI Strategy Blueprint. Cited heavily by Eternal AI, executives are basically calling this the AI Bible. It is the high-level roadmap you need to successfully orchestrate AI across an entire company. But before you run off to start prompting, listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. We have one final, non-negotiable warning from the MIT Sloan guidelines. Data privacy is paramount. You must never, ever enter confidential, sensitive, or protected data, like FERPA or GDPR-regulated info, into publicly accessible AI tools. Once that data goes into the model, you generally can't get it back out. Always, always protect your organization's and your client's privacy first. Which leaves us with this final thought for today. Think about your own workflow right now. Are you just accessing AI, or do you actually understand it? The choice is entirely yours. Become AI savvy or risk becoming obsolete. The frameworks from Digital Promise and Atlassian are completely proven, and all these resources are literally right at your fingertips. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Go practice that 4-part prompt framework today, and I'll catch you in the next one.